Yamaha are doing their bit to clean up the planet with this, the new NEO scooter. It's the equivalent of about a 50cc scooter. It makes about 3.5 horsepower, but it's got 100 pounds-feet of torque. I'm going to try and whiz around the streets of Amsterdam, so let me give it a go, and when I know more, I'll tell you more. You need to be on your guard riding through these streets. Cyclists, pedestrians, everything seems to come out of nowhere from all angles. It's crazy. But the NEOS copes really well with it all. The NEOS is a zippy, easily manageable and above all very clean and very cheap way to get through a city. And it's a hell of a lot better than taking the bus. One of the reasons it's being launched here in Amsterdam is because they are scooter crazy. Electric bikes are gaining popularity. It might only make 3.5 horsepower, but the torque level's huge and gives the NEOS really keen acceleration, especially from a standstill. Okay, it's a modestly powered thing. It's not designed to thrill or break lap records. It's designed to do what I'm doing on it now, to take you into town, round cities, cheaply, cleanly and easily. At just 98 kilos, the Yamaha feels as easy to ride as a push bike. Yeah, one thing it does, as all electrically powered two-wheelers do, is respond instantly to throttle. There's no waiting for the RPM to build up, no delay before it gets into its power. You twist and you go sharply. I wouldn't want to take it on a dual carriageway. I certainly wouldn't want to go near a motorway on it, but for these sort of streets and these sorts of speeds, it's perfect. It has 2 power modes, Eco and Standard. Eco gives you more range, but a bit less performance. It's still pretty brisk though. Got some under-seat storage. I think you can just about get a full face helmet in. I'll have a look in a minute. I feel quite protected from the elements actually. It is a bit parky this morning, but this sort of footwell area is keeping it all off my legs. I mean, the good thing about this of course is there aren't any gears. There's nothing to work out other than opening the throttle. And because it manages the motor so easily and the delivery is so linear and friendly, it just couldn't be much simpler to ride. Super easy to lob about. Your granny's got to be able to get on this and not feel in any way intimidated. You know, you're not sending emails and messages of any sort to mates boasting about its performance, but it will be so cheap to run. Every time you pass a petrol station, you think of the small fortune you're saving. It is serene and peaceful on this thing. You feel good about the lack of pollution that you're causing, and noise for that matter. It takes around 8 hours to fully charge a flat battery, but just 4 to boost it from 20 to 80% of its capacity. The battery range is about 20 to 25 miles, but you can double that if you add a second one. Whipping out the battery to charge takes seconds. If you haven't tried a Lecky bike, do so. They're really quite novel. It's an alternative thing. Like them or not, electric vehicles are the future. We have to clean up our streets. Riding the NEOS makes you feel good and sends out a great moral message. It's very socially acceptable. If I'm dead honest, I thought the scooter would have been slow and tedious. In fact, it was really good fun, and possibly the very best way to get across Amsterdam. Right, just had half a day's fun and frivolity on this little baby. To cross Amsterdam, a pretty small, flat but busy city with some crazy traffic, this is a very effective tool. It's light, it's easy, it's zippy, it's pretty predictable and friendly. It handles pretty nicely, lots of agility, lots of predictability. I love the zip that the electric motor gives this scooter. It's got a top speed of around 35 miles an hour. We thrashed it a bit today, as we tend to, and that'll give you a range of only about 25 miles. But look, for a city, just commuting, which this is utterly brilliant for, I think that's more than enough. I dare say you could get a bit more than that if you were a bit calmer with the throttle. You can add another battery. That will cost you another £980 to almost double that range. Standard, it's just over £3,000. It's about 3,100 quid. But though that initial purchase price might sound a bit steep, the running costs thereafter are really, really low. Pretty stylish bit of kit, some good under-seat storage. At home, where there might be some sort of longer runs before the really busy stuff, it wouldn't be out of its depth, but don't expect to go and bombard traffic. This keeps up rather nicely and gets through congestion very, very well. Dimensionally, it's tiny. This is the future. Whether we like it or not, government and councils will dictate that we use bikes like this. We can't keep on dirtying the planet. And I felt like goody two-shoes riding this. I wasn't making any contribution, or I was minimising greatly my contribution to global warming and climate change, and that made me feel pretty good. I've had a great time on something that's super efficient, effective, and, as I say, great fun. Enjoyed it.